all stand and remain standing until the conclusion of the reading of the proclamation. Ladies and gentlemen, the proclamation. All persons having any business before this honourable court now draw nigh. Give your attendance, and you shall be heard.
Admission of lawyers. Lily Jean Andrew.
Please the court, I move that Lily Jean Andrew be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
That Lily Jean Andrew be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Mohammed Mustafa Arifin.
May it please the court, I move that my brother Mohammed Mustafa Arifin be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Mohammed Mustafa Arifin be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Georgia Aslanides.
May it please the court, I move that Georgia Aslanides be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Georgia Aslanides be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Haris Shafqat Aziz.
May it please the court, I move that Haris Shafqat Aziz be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Haris Shafqat Aziz be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Rebecca Giselle Cluckus.
May it please the court, I move that Rebecca Giselle Clucas be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Rebecca Giselle Clucas be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Sophie Christine Crow.
May it please the court, I move that Sophie Christine Crow be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Sophie Christine Crow be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Fayen Yufei Chouay.
May it please the court, I move that Fayen Yufei Tsai be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Fayen Yufei Kwai be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Tiana Judith Daly.
May it please the court, I move that Tiana Judith Daly be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Tiana Judith Daly be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Kelly Dominguez Pasos Ferreira.
May it please the court, I move that Kelly Dominguez Pasos Ferreira be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Kelly Domingos Pasos Ferreira be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Onida Jessica Fritz.
May it please the court, I move that Anita Jessica Fritz be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Anita Jessica Fritz be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Isabel Ferrer Garcia.
May it please the court, I move that Isabel Elise Ferrer Garcia be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Isabel Elise Ferrer Garcia be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Dylan Lewis Gardner.
May it please the court, I move that Dylan Lewis Gardner be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Dylan Lewis Gardner be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Thomas Michael Magne Kong Hing Go.
May it please the court, I move that Thomas Michael Magni Kong Hing Go be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Thomas Michael Magni Kong Hing Go be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Amelia Jane Harvey.
May it please the court, I move that my partner, Amelia Jane Harvey, be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Amelia Jane Harvey be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Margaret Claire Haynes.
Your Honour, may it please the court, I move that Margaret Claire Haynes be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Margaret Claire Haynes be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Molly Ruth Hayter.
May it please the court, I move that Molly Ruth Hayter be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Molly Ruth Hayter be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Yilin Hu.
May it please the court, I move that Yilin Hu be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Yilin Hu be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Christian John Highland.
May it please the court, I move that Christian John Highland be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Christian John Highland be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Sarah Ibrahim.
May it please the court, I move that Sarah Ibrahim be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Sarah Ibrahim be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Valeria Jabro.
May it please the court, I move that Valeria Jabro be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Valeria Jabro be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Thomas Edward Jenkins.
May it please the court, I move that Thomas Edward Jenkins be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Thomas Edward Jenkins be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Sia Kafley.
May it please the court, I move that Sia Kafley be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Sia Kafley be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Abi Rami Kandasamy.
May it please the court, I move that Abirami Kandasamy be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Abirami Kandasamy be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Mark Jonathan Coder.
May it please the court, I move that Mark Jonathan Coder be admitted as a lawyer to this honourable court.
Let Mark Jonathan Coder be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
James Mitchell Kilborn.
May it please the court, I move that James Mitchell Kilborn be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let James Mitchell Kilborn be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Jessica Jiyun Kim.
May it please the court, I move that Jessica Jiyun Kim be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Jessica Jiyun Kim be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Edwina Wenan Kuang.
May it please the court, I move that Evelyn Winan Kwang be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Evelyn Winan Kwang be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Danielle Antoinette Lalage.
May it please the court, I move that Danielle Antoinette Lalage be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Danielle Antoinette Lalage be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Sumin Lee.
May it please the court, I move that Sumin Lee be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Sumin Lee be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Lockie Lee.
May it please the court, I move that Lockie Lee be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Lockie Lee be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Ziliang Lim.
May it please the court, I move that Ziliang Lim be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Ziliang Lim be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Manon Pavan Luthra.
May it please the court, I move that Manon Parvan Luthra be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Manon Parvan Luthra be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Michael James Liu.
May it please the court, I move that Michael James Liu be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable
Let
court.
Michael James Liu be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Isabella Martinez.
May it please the court, I move that Isabella Martinez be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Isabella Martinez be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Claudia Alexandra McGuinness.
May it please the court, I move that Claudia Alexandra McGuinness be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Claudia Alexandra McGuinness be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Claudia Grace McHutchison.
Lucinda
May
Grace.
it please the court, I move that Lucinda Grace McHutchison be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Lucinda Grace McHutchison be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Laura Elise Greaves Montague.
May it please the court, I move that Laura Elise Greaves Montague be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Laura Elise Greaves Montague be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Omar Musa.
May it please the court, I move that Omar Musa be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Omar Musa be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Adam George Muller.
May it please the court, I move that Adam George Muller be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Adam George Muller be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Gemma Nicole Nelson.
May it please the court, I move that Gemma Nicole Nelson be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Gemma Nicole Nelson be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Victoria Ho Lan Nguyen.
May it please the court, I move that Victoria Holan New Win be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Victoria Ho Lan Nguyen be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Tochukwu Zixtin Ogbijieze.
May it please the court, I move that Torchukwu Zixton Obujezi be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Tojuku Ziston Obigwazi be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Kim Min Karina Pham.
May it please the court, I move that Kim Min Karina Pham be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Kim Min Karina Pham be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Jackie Michelle Roncato.
May it please the court, I move that Jackie Michelle Roncato be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Jackie Michelle Roncato be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Christopher James Rowlands.
May it please the court, I move that Christopher James Rowlands be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Christopher James Rowlands be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Brinda Srinivas.
May it please the court, I move that Brinda Srinivas be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Brinda Srinivas be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Laura Jane Sutton.
May it please the court, I move that Laura Jane Sutton be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Laura Jane Sutton be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Michelle Louise Tan.
May it please the court, I move that Michelle Louise Tan be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Michelle Louise Tan be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Yezi Tao.
May it please to the court, I move that Ye Zitao be admitted as a lawyer of the honourable court.
Let Yezi Tao be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Jade Antonia Tate.
May it please the court, I move that Jade Antonia Tate be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Jane Antonia Tate be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Ellen Jun Thurlow.
May it please the court, I move that Ellen John Turlow be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Ellen Jun Turlow be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Benedict Juo Hong Si.
May it please the court, I move that Benedict Zhu Hong Tse be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Benedict Zhu Hong Tse be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Annie Weng.
May it please the court, I move that Annie Wang be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Annie Weng be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Jessica Kate Williams.
May it please the court, I move that my daughter Jessica Kate Williams be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Jessica Kate Williams be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Xin Yi Shu.
May I please the court, I move that Xin Yi Xu be admitted as lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Xin Yi Zhu be admitted as a lawyer of this court. Will now be necessary for those whose admission has just been moved to, when and as directed, stand for the purposes of swearing an oath or making a declaration. So please stand as directed by our officiating officer.
The first two rows to my right, please stand. Lily Jean Andrew. Muhammad Mustafa Arifin. Georgia Aslanides. Harris Shafqat Aziz. Rebecca Giselle Cluckus. Sophie Christine Crow. Fayen Yufei Chue. Tiana Judith Daly. Kelly Dominguez Pasos Ferreira. Oneida Jessica Fritz. Isabel Elise Ferrer Garcia. Dylan Lewis Gardner. Thomas Michael Magne Kong Hing Go. Amelia Jane Harvey. Margaret Claire Haynes. Molly Ruth Hayter. Do you severally swear or declare and affirm that you will truly and honestly conduct yourselves in the practice of a lawyer of the Supreme Court of New South Wales, and that you will faithfully serve as such in the administration of the laws and usages of this state, according to the best of your knowledge, skill, and ability? Would you please say, "So help me God," or "I do"?
I do.
Please be seated. The next two rows on that side of the court, please stand. Yilin Hu, Christian John Highland, Sarah Ibrahim, Valeria Jabro, Thomas Edward Jenkins, Sia Kafley, Abirami Kandasamy, Mark Jonathan Coder, James Mitchell Kilbourne, Jessica Jiun Kim, Edwina Wenan Kuang, Danielle Antoinette Lalage, Sumin Lee, Lockie Lee, Zilang Lim, Manon Pavan Luthra, Michael James Liu. Do you severally swear or declare and affirm that you will truly and honestly conduct yourselves in the practice of a lawyer of the Supreme Court of New South Wales, and that you will faithfully serve as such in the administration of the laws and usages of this state, according to the best of your knowledge, skill, and ability? Would you please say, "So help me God," or "I do"?
I do.
Please be seated. Could the row in the middle of the court please stand up? Isabella Martinez, Claudia Alexandra McGuinness, Lucinda Grace McHutchison, Laura Elise Greaves Montague, Omar Musa, Adam George Muller, Gemma Nicole Nelson, Victoria Hoa Lan Nguyen, Tochukwi Zixtin Ogbijiaze. Do you severally swear or declare and affirm that you will truly and honestly conduct yourselves in the practice of a lawyer of the Supreme Court of New South Wales, and that you will faithfully serve as such in the administration of the laws and usages of this state, according to the best of your knowledge, skill, and ability? Would you please say, "So help me God," or "I do"?
So help me God.
Please be seated. Could the two rows on the left-hand side of the court please stand? Kim Min Karina Pham, Jackie Michelle Roncato, Christopher James Rowlands, Brenda Srinivas, Laura Jane Sutton, Michelle Louise Tan, Yezi Tao, Jade Antonia Tate, Ellen Jun Thurlow, Benedict Zhuo Hong Si, Annie Weng, Jessica Kate Williams, Xinyi Xu. Do you severally swear or declare and affirm that you will truly and honestly conduct yourselves in the practice of a lawyer of the Supreme Court of New South Wales, and that you will faithfully serve as such in the administration of the laws and usages of this state, according to the best of your knowledge, skill, and ability? Would you please say, "So help me God," or "I do"?
I do.
Thank you. Please be seated.
Well, may I warmly welcome you all to this, the Banco Court of the Supreme Court of New South Wales. Present with me on the bench this morning, to my right, is Justice Iris, and to my left, Justice Rigg, both judges of the Common Law Division of this court, and both, as it happens, former senior public defenders in this state. Together, we constitute the court that has, in the exercise of its jurisdiction, admitted you to practice this morning. And we have done so in this court, which rests on the land for which the Gadigal of the Eora Nation have cared and been custodians for thousands of years, and the court pays its sincere respects to elders past and present, and extends those respects to all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people. Well, to all of the newly admitted lawyers, welcome to the legal profession. Today is one for celebration. We up here know how hard you've all worked to reach this important milestone. And I'm also pleased to welcome those supporting you today or watching on the live stream. For many of you, the support of your family and friends will have been invaluable on the journey thus far. For many of them, the endurance of your finely polished or developing skills of argument and persuasion may now be at an end, or maybe not. But whatever be the case, I'm sure they're all immensely proud of you, and I encourage you to take time to thank them today. Depending on how good an advocate you are, you might even convince them to shout you to a long lunch. In being admitted as a lawyer of this court, you join an honourable and ancient profession with the custom of advocates swearing an oath on admission to practice dating back to the 12th century. And this court first admitted lawyers in 1824. And so it was in May of this year, the court to which you have just been admitted celebrated its 200th anniversary. It is, you might be surprised to learn, one of the oldest continuing common law courts in the world. That is something of which we, and I hope now you, are immensely proud. We had a great celebration, a ceremonial sitting in this courtroom, which was overflowing. There were some significant speeches made, and there is a video of it on the court's YouTube, which is well worth watching, and I'd urge you to do so. You're also a very fortunate cohort, because after this ceremony, when you move to the lobby downstairs to sign the roll and receive your certificate of admission, you will also be presented with a copy of the court's recently published bicentennial history entitled Constant Guardian, Changing Times, a history of the Supreme Court of New South Wales 1824 to 2024 as a memento of your admission in this bicentennial year. It's about 450 pages long, although there are many wonderful photographs and illustrations, so you don't have to read it in one sitting, but I do hope you take the time to read it, enjoy it, learn about the court, of which you have each just become an officer. In celebrating the court's bicentenary, we also celebrate 200 years of the rule of law in New South Wales, about which I will say a little more shortly. This ceremony is attended by unique but important formalities, including the fact that your admissions have been moved by somebody who is already a member of the legal profession, and that you have each made a formal oath or affirmation in the presence of your family and peers and before judges of the court. They and we are all therefore witnesses to the serious promises and undertakings which you have just made. The law touches every part of our society, and it can and will lead you all in many different directions and career paths. But in whatever direction you head, you must always remember that the oath or affirmation that you have just made is a serious one, is a continuing one, and deserves solemn regard. So whether you work in private practice, at the bar, in the community legal centre, a Crown Law office, the Aboriginal Service for Legal Aid as a public defender, or in a government department or agency, or in an entirely different field, you must always be known for your honesty, your integrity, and your commitment to justice, and you must strive at all times to uphold these cardinal values. Now, you'll see from some of the portraits of former Chief Justices hanging on the walls of this court that we are up here wearing the same robes, in some cases literally, as have been worn by our predecessors. And you may wonder why, after 200 years, we still wear these robes on ceremonial occasions. I can tell you we don't do so because they're particularly comfortable. They aren't. But we do so because symbolically they serve to highlight the continuity of the rule of law in New South Wales, although importantly, the judges wearing the robes are now drawn from an increasingly diverse pool. Some 45% of all judicial officers in New South Wales are now female. That is a radical change from the time I commenced practice, which I like to think was not that long ago, but it's been an extremely salutary change. As to continuity of the rule of law and the importance of continuity of the rule of law, we of course live in a world where there is so much uncertainty and insecurity, and the rule of law is more important than ever, and not simply an academic construct or a phrase of some mere theoretical import. At its simplest, the rule of law is the opposite of the arbitrary abuse of power and the rule of autocratic dictators and populists. And as we survey the globe, there's nothing theoretical about those threats or realities. Now, notwithstanding the formality and tradition attending this ceremony, the life of the law is dynamic. Not everything in the legal profession remains unchanging. The pandemic prompted a radical shift in the use of technology in our courtrooms and the advent of AI brings with it both opportunities and challenges, which the legal profession and the courts are and will continue to grapple. But while the increased use of technology offers a number of advantages, it is and has always been my firm view that the practice of the law has human nature and human interaction at its core. An essential part of being a good lawyer is understanding people, how others react to different situations, perform under pressure, and deal with each other. An individual who is in need of your services as a lawyer will, in many cases, be an individual facing some kind of great personal challenge or crisis affecting his or her liberty, property, personal well-being, health, or financial position or family status. There is therefore a need to deliver legal services not only competently, of course, but always with courtesy, integrity, and sensitivity to the circumstances of the matter, which will often be fraught for the individuals involved. That requires a human being with emotional and not artificial intelligence. The need for human engagement by lawyers with those needing legal assistance is also a powerful reason why there should be strong representation of lawyers from the many different backgrounds which comprise our cosmopolitan community. That very much includes Indigenous lawyers. Diverse representation amongst solicitors, advocates, and judges assists in ensuring that all people who become involved in our justice system can and feel that they can be properly heard and fairly engaged with by a system reflective of our broader community and a judiciary which is sensitive to and educated in the many different cultural strands which make up our community. The admission ceremonies on which I have sat since becoming a judge some 5.5 years ago, including this ceremony, highlight that there is far greater diversity of background amongst junior lawyers than when I commenced practice. That is a very good thing, and leaders of the profession and of the courts are working hard to foster inclusiveness and diversity in the legal profession. That in turn builds trust in and respect for not only the judiciary and the legal profession, but ultimately, I think, for the rule of law. So let me now offer a little bit of professional and personal advice this Friday morning. As a lawyer, you will often need to make difficult ethical decisions. You must use the tools you have developed to think critically and not compromise on your fundamental duties to the court and to the administration of justice. At various points in your career, you will make mistakes, some minor, maybe some more serious. We all make mistakes if we're honest with ourselves, particularly when starting off on something new. The most important thing is when you do make mistakes, your commitment to honesty, integrity, and the administration of justice means that you must take responsibility, correct what you can, and learn from those mistakes. One mistake I always advise young lawyers not to make, or to try not to make, is to fall into the trap of giving your clients the advice you think they want to hear. I can tell you now that that will almost certainly not be good advice, and they will not welcome it in the long run when the true picture emerges. You must be independent and you must be courageous in giving advice, even if the advice will not be welcome news to your client. Being a lawyer means that you are an advisor, a problem solver, sometimes a mediator, sometimes an advocate. As you go about your day-to-day work, remember, as I've said, you're not merely dealing with the law in a vacuum, but the law as it applies to people's lives. That human engagement extends to your interactions with your colleagues, including those with whom you negotiate or against whom you litigate. Aspects of the law, especially if you are involved in the litigation side of practice, are confrontational. We have an adversarial system, but the practice of the law is stressful and demanding enough without personal antagonism between practitioners adding to the load, as regrettably it sometimes does. So it is essential that you maintain your detachment, balance, and good humour, remembering at all times that you are now members of a profession, which is not a business, it's a profession, a very important concept. Another thing you should remember is that the best advocates can and do make their point simply and succinctly. Often, less is more. Some of the most experienced lawyers and judges could use that reminder from time to time. I don't wholly exclude myself from that observation. But for a non-lawyer, the law is often incomprehensible or at least difficult to understand. So one of your tasks as a lawyer will be to make the law accessible to others. So strive to be clear and concise at all times in what you say and in what you write. To do so ultimately facilitates access to justice. In the practice of the law, your physical and mental health are also extremely important, something we are far more conscious of these days than 30 years ago. There may, and I dare say will be times when you feel a little overwhelmed, burnt out, or distressed. Legal practice can be all-consuming and physically and mentally taxing. Now, that's often because lawyers strive to go the extra mile for their clients. They want to ensure that an advice is comprehensive, that a brief is fully prepared, etc., and all of that is admirable. But it can become, as I've said, all-consuming and physically and mentally taxing. So you must work hard also to keep your balance, to keep your eye out to ensure that your colleagues do so as well. If you do get overwhelmed by it all, as frankly we all have and do from time to time, try to take a step back and recapture some perspective. You should also know or remember that the law is a highly collegiate profession. In this context, I'm now going to call on young representatives of the New South Wales Bar Association and the Law Society to offer a few words of welcome to you. Ms. Phelan, do you move?
May it please the court. My name is Ellie Phelan, and I have been practicing for 3 years at the bar, predominantly in commercial law and white-collar crime. On behalf of the New South Wales Bar Association, I welcome you to the legal profession. The legal profession is an old profession based on precedent and the rule of law, whilst also being a profession that grows and develops to adapt to new practices and technology, and importantly, to society's values as they change over time. For several decades now, the composition of lawyers and barristers in New South Wales has changed to better reflect the community. The bar today is a welcoming place for people of all genders and backgrounds. It is an honour to be a lawyer, and in my case a barrister, and I am proud to be a member of the legal profession. I enjoy the intellectual challenge of my job and that it allows me to give expert advice to and represent people in court and to contribute to society in a meaningful way. I am pleased to see that my pathway both to the bar and my experience whilst at the bar is becoming more common. I grew up in regional Victoria and was the first member of my family to successfully complete high school and go on to university. I joined a very well-regarded floor in 9 Wentworth who have welcomed me and supported me when I took maternity leave during my second year at the bar. I am an example of the New South Wales Bar's efforts to be more reflective of society. If you are interested in coming to the bar, you can contact the New South Wales Bar Association or have a look at its website, and each year there is a Career at the Bar open day. In your first year of practice as a reader, you receive particular assistance from 2 barristers of at least 7 years seniority who meet with you weekly, review your work, and teach you practical skills. But the support you will receive is not limited to those 2 barristers. The bar is renowned for its collegiality, especially in chambers. There are also opportunities to become involved in the work of the New South Wales Bar Association, which is the professional body that supports barristers and has a range of committees, including a new barristers committee, which organises social and educational functions for 0 to 5 year barristers like me, and a diversity and equality committee, of which I am a former member, which promotes one of the key strategic goals of the New South Wales Bar Association, to attract the best people to become barristers, regardless of their race, religion, gender, parental status, or sexual orientation. Whether as a lawyer or barrister, I encourage you to get involved in the Law Society or Bar Association and to use your skills to assist your community. It is a rewarding experience to practice in connection with others in your profession. Once again, on behalf of the New South Wales Bar Association, I welcome you to the legal profession and congratulate you all on your admission today as a lawyer of this Honourable Court. May it please the Court.
Thank you. Ms. Udgett of the Law Society of New South Wales.
May it please the court. My name is Sarah Udgett, and not so long ago I was being admitted as you are today, and what a day it is. You are here being admitted to the Supreme Court role as the final step at the end of a long and arduous journey. You should all feel immensely proud of what you have achieved thus far. When I embarked on my career as a solicitor, I had no real idea of what to expect. It was not always easy, often it was overwhelming. But as I stand here today after 3 years, I can tell you I've already learnt a thing or two. One of the most important things I have learnt is the importance of belonging to a profession. The legal profession is an increasingly large, bespoke, and diverse community, and one to which you now all belong. The Law Society of New South Wales is home of that community, with our 30,000 members flung far and wide across the state. We are bound by our shared duties, our commitment to continuous learning, our desire to connect, and our drive to give back to our communities and uphold the rule of law. As an early career lawyer, belonging to a strong network of peers is crucial. That is why I am part of the Law Society's New South Wales Young Lawyers branch, and I have been for over 3 years. Here I have found friendship, inspiration, guidance and support when I needed it most, as well as opportunities to advocate and join committees. By joining the Law Society New South Wales Young Lawyers, you will gain access to professional support, conferences and events, a wide range of publications, professional development opportunities, mentoring, volunteer opportunities, and so much more. It's the role of the Law Society to ensure that you, as newly minted solicitor, can thrive and succeed in your new profession. So again, congratulations. Look us up, speak to your employer, and we look forward to welcoming you to our profession.
Well, may I say this to you all in closing? The law is a wonderful profession. It's stimulating, it's challenging and satisfying, and it's populated by intelligent, committed and dynamic people such as yourselves. You should be proud to be a lawyer, proud of your achievements to date and proud of the profession that you have just joined. It is a very important profession that underpins stability and cohesion in our community. You are now a very important part of that very important profession. So work hard, take pride in your work, look out for your colleagues, contribute to your community, and don't take yourself too seriously. We up here on the bench wish you all the very best of luck on the exciting journey that lies ahead and a full and rewarding career. On behalf of Justice Irish, Justice Rigg, and indeed all of our colleagues on the Supreme Court, I once again congratulate you on your admission to practice and welcome you to the legal profession. The court will now adjourn.
All stand. This honourable court is now adjourned.